Despite having their last two films get this big time like their second film, well, the Transformers films had been hit or miss and what have you with the critics. But despite the failure of Last Night in 2017, they managed to pull off a much better film with this prequel slash spin-off film. Here's my review of Bumblebee.
This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews.
So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2018 sci-fi action film Bumblebee, released by Paramount, based on Hasbro's Transformers toy line character of the same name, the sixth overall installment of the Transformers live-action series, and considered and was developed as a spin-off prequel, but later declared to be reboot. The film is directed by Travis Knight and written by Christina Hodson, and the first film not to be directed by Michael Bay, who instead acted as producer of the film. The film stars Hailee Steinfeld along with John Cena, Jorge Lendeborg Jr., John Ortiz, Jason Drucker, and Pamela Adlon, and features Dylan O'Brien as the voice of the title character, plus Angela Bassett, Justin Theroux, as other characters, and Pierre Cullen once again voicing Optimus Prime. This was also Mr. Knight's first live-action film, as a matter of fact. Yes, because he had recently worked with the animation studio Leica, who of course he was producer for their films Paranorman and The Box Trolls, and he had recently directed their 2016 film Kubo and the Two Strings. The film was released in December of 2018. It premiered at the Sony Center on the 3rd and was released before Christmas on the 21st. This film, unlike the other Transformers films, is the only film to actually get certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. And got much, so in other words, it got much better reviews, though it didn't make as much as the other films did, but still was well received. But for now, let's get into our story. On the planet Cybertron, the Autobots, led by Optimus Prime, are on the verge of losing their war against the Decepticons and prepare to evacuate the planet. Decepticon forces, led by Starscream, Soundwave, and Shockwave, intercept the Autobots during their evacuation, and Optimus sends Autobot Scout B-127 to Earth in an escape pod to set up a base of operations while he stays behind to fend off the Decepticons. B-127 reaches Earth and crash lands in California, disrupting a training exercise by Sector 7, a secret government agency tasked with monitoring extraterrestrial activity on Earth. Colonel Jack Burns presumes B-127 to be hostile and orders his men to attack the Autobot. B-127 scans a Willys MB Jeep and flees to a nearby mine where he is ambushed by the Decepticon Blitzwing. When B-127 refuses to reveal Optimus' whereabouts, Blitzwing tears out his voice box and damages his memory core, prompting B-127 to kill the Decepticon with one of his own missiles. And B-127 scans a nearby 1967 yellow Volkswagen Beetle before collapsing from his injuries. In 1987, Charlene Watson, or Charlie as she's known as, who is depressed by the death of her father and resentful of her mother Sally's relationship with her new boyfriend Ronald, finds the Beetle in a local scrapyard owned by her friend Hank, who gives it to her as an 18th birthday present. When trying to start, Charlie unknowingly activates a homing signal that is detected by the Decepticons' Shatter and Dropkick, while they interrogate and kill Cliffjumper on one of Saturn's moons. The two Decepticons head to Earth, acquire human-made vehicle forms and encounters Sector 7. Pretending to be peacekeepers, they persuade the agency to help them capture B-127 despite Burns' objections. As Charlie attempts to fix the Beetle, it transforms into B-127, whom she befriends and names Bumblebee. She then unknowingly unlocks a message from Optimus urging Bumblebee to defend Earth, which restores some of his memories. They are discovered by Charlie's neighbor Mimo, who agrees to protect their secret, while Bumblebee learns to use his radio to communicate. While left alone one day, Bumblebee unintentionally destroys Charlie's home and causes an energy spike that attracts Sector 7's attention. When Sally blames Charlie for the havoc, Charlie has an emotional breakdown and finally expresses her pain over her father's death and leaves with Bumblebee and Mimo, only to be intercepted by Sector 7 and the Decepticons. Bumblebee is captured while Charlie and Mimo are returned home. Now, I'm going to go to the final act and the ending. As you always, procedure. 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. As I count down, if you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Charlie convinces her brother Otis to cover for her and Mimo as they follow Burns to Sector 7, one of their outposts where Bumblebee is being held. While torturing Bumblebee, Shatter and Dropkick accidentally activate a message from Optimus and learn that the Autobots are coming to Earth. Dropkick then kills Bumblebee and Dr. Powell, but not before the latter is able to alert Burns to the truth about the Decepticons. Charlie electroshocks Bumblebee back to life, restoring his memories, and fends off Burns' obstruction. After evading the military with the help of Mimo and her family, Charlie and Bumblebee pursue the Decepticons, who are using a radio tower at a nearby harbor to contact their allies on Cybertron. Shatter shoots down Burns' helicopter when he tries to intervene, but he is saved by Bumblebee, and Bumblebee fights Dropkick and binds him with a chain, ripping him apart. Charlie deactivates the Decepticon beacon, only to be pursued by Shatter. Bumblebee destroys a dam wall, triggering a flood that causes a cargo ship to crush and destroy Shatter. Bumblebee and Charlie escape the army and later arrive on a cliff overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge, where Charlie, realizing that Bumblebee has a greater purpose, says goodbye, and he takes on a new 1977 Chevrolet Camaro form and drives off, and Charlie reunites with her family in Mimo. Bumblebee reunites with Optimus, who successfully escaped Cybertron. He praises Bumblebee for keeping Earth safe as they watch more escape pods enter Earth's atmosphere. Meanwhile, Charlie finishes repairing the Corvette she and her father were working on, and takes the classic vehicle for a drive in the story. So what did I think of Bumblebee? Well, I've got to say, I love this film. This is probably my favorite of the Transformers films, but you have to take my word for it. But I absolutely loved it. Of course, I went and saw this film, and it was just so incredible. It did pretty well. Well, despite it was going up against films like Second Act, Welcome to Marwen, and of course Aquaman, it did fine and what have you. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot I went up against Mary Poppins Returns as well. Anyway, the film went on to make 468 million worldwide, though it was still the least amount of the Transformers franchise, but nevertheless, it still did well. Currently, the film has a 91% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which of course makes it the only film in the Transformers franchise not to be in Ryan territory and what have you. Or something like that. You know what I'm trying to say, okay? Well, according to them, they say this proves it's possible to bring fun and a sense of wonder back to a bloated blockbuster franchise. It sets up its own slate of sequels in the bargain. Definitely. There have been again some pretty good reviews from IndieWire, Variety, and Well, I'm just gonna say a lot of people enjoyed it, and someone from the Club even compared this film to the cult classic The Iron Giant, which I totally agree. While The Iron Giant was definitely a pretty good film, this one does kind of have the same feel to it. Anyway, they loved Hailee Steinfeld's performance as well as Travis Knight's direction, plus the visuals and the 1987 setting and what have you. I think it's incredible. It was really good. But anyway, I'm just very happy that this did well. Now, and aside from it having some pretty good songs from the 80s and what have you, which some I'm actually familiar with, they had Dario Marianelli do the score for this, and that was very good too. And I do agree with critics on Travis Knight's direction and the visuals, which that was good as well. Now, aside from Hailee Steinfeld, who does an absolutely amazing job as Charlie, John Cena does a pretty good job as Jack Burns. Jorge Lendeborg Jr. plays Mimo. He was pretty good. John Ortiz plays Dr. Powell. Jason Drucker plays Otis. Pamela Adlon played Sally. And Steven Schneider played Ron. Anyway, this was just so good. And I'm just glad we got some pretty good voice actors as well. Of course, we have Dylan O'Brien doing Bumblebee, and Pierre Cullen once again as Optimus Prime. Oh, which reminds me, I almost forgot. I'm very happy that they made the Autobots and the Decepticons look just like their actual original selves, like in the toy line in the original animated series, which that was absolutely, how should I say, superb. Let's see, and we also have Angela Bassett voicing Shatter and Justin Theroux as Dropkick. Well, of course, they're Decepticons, and they were pretty good. I mean, I'm glad they got Shockwave and Soundwave looking right like themselves, and Starscream as well. We also get RC and Wheeljack and Cliffjumper. And there's also Ratchet and many others, and what have you. So, that's pretty cool. Actually, we will see the character of RC in the brand new film that's actually out now, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, which you'll get a spoiler-free review of that once I go see it. But overall, Bumblebee was exceptionally good. A great story, great direction, great characters, great A setting, etc., etc., etc. So overall, would I recommend Bumblebee? The answer is hell yeah. Like I said, this is easily my favorite of the Transformers films. But again, you don't have to take my word for it. You be the judge if you haven't seen it. I like, but I'll still also give it a one time. Well, let you give it a one time watch if you are a hardcore completionist or if you're a big Transformers fan. But if you like it, then hell yeah, definitely continue to go on with it. So what did you think of Bumblebee? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you my Saturday morning TV log of the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you liked it, then check out these other videos. In the upper left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of a movie that John Cena was more recently in. That was Fast X, the latest Fast and the Furious film. Or if you'd like another Hasbro-themed prequel, see my review of Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins in the upper right-hand corner. Or if you would like to see my reviews of the other films, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my playlist of the Transformers films. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.